Welcome back to another warm-up show with the hockey coach, local Frenchies, directly for the beautiful country and Thailand. We have to go all the way to find our co-host waiting for the way the warm-up show start. And Mr. ENORTAP is back in the house. I don't know. You mute, Mr. ENORTAP. Hold on. We'll see what's going on here. I don't know. I cannot hear you. Is it me or everybody else? Let's see. For some reason, it look like me. I'm on mute. Hold on. Hold on.
Now I'm on mute.
Now you are good.
Can you hear
Sorry
me?
about that.
That's okay. Just
It's
saying
okay.
there's 11 games on slate today, so good picks, good tough games tonight.
11 game on the program, Mr. ENORTAP, like you mentioned. 3 game last night. We're going to review what's going on with there. We're going to see a couple of news about Montreal Canadiens, the game between Montreal and the Detroit Red Wings. We're going to talk about this, and then we're going to see the couple of players out of the lineup for Montreal, Kaden Primo. Anyhow, we're going to talk about this a little bit later. And then that's pretty much what we got for tonight before we do the play-by-play tonight at 7:05. And so we have a few people knocked the room, Mr. ENORTAP. So welcome everybody. Thanks to be with the part of the show. The first of all, we have Vinny James is in the house. Welcome aboard.
Welcome, Vinny.
We have Mr. Leonardo, Mr. Ramirez is in the house. Welcome back directly from Vegas.
Welcome, Leonardo.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this game in the next couple of minutes. Leonardo, don't go nowhere. Luciano Graziano, back in the house. Welcome back, moderator Luciano.
Welcome, Luciano.
Following by Yamo Vertanen. No, I have Claude Richard first of all, so I apologize. Claude Richard knocked the door. Welcome back, Claude from Ottawa.
How's it going, Claude?
Luciano Graziano, like I mentioned to you, moderator back with the Hockey National Show. And another moderator, Mr. Run with Kings, 20 exactly from Utah, moderator. Welcome back.
Yo, ma.
The Captain Kirk, Mr. ENORTAP is with us today.
Hey, Ryan, how's it going?
Welcome back. And that's pretty much what we got so far, Mr. ENORTAP. A very quick presentation. People back and forth say hi, everybody. So thanks to be with everybody in the chat. Yesterday, because we had 3 games and no bus and no gel, that's the rule we got from the Delwood Smith and everybody else. But tonight, 11 games. So someone somehow is going to be in the bus, and someone somehow is going to be in the gel, Mr. ENORTAP. After the 11 game prediction we got tonight, a lot of different games to select. Will be interesting what you have on the for us tonight, because you have a couple of games. It's really interesting to see what's happening. And again, every night it's an implication of different race in the standing, Mr. ENORTAP. Whatever is on the West Conference, on the East Conference, they have something they play for, and that's a good thing about that. At least some team is battle for that part over there. So that's what we got, Mr. ENORTAP. So why we start? Why not start with you, Mr. ENORTAP? Said, what caught your attention last night, Mr. ENORTAP? We had 3 games on the program last night, and the 3 of them was Vegas, Dallas Star, and the Seattle Kraken. I did not. I was really surprised that Seattle beat Phoenix, Arizona, but Chicago, Phoenix right now are not looking good, Mr. ENORTAP.
No, as we know, they're in full tank mode. And as you're going to see today when we make our predictions, just about an hour ago, I looked at the starting goaltenders. A lot of backups from minor systems coming up to play today. So interesting how that'll affect the predictions. Who knows, right? The goalie could come in and do really well, but more than likely it's to help them solidify their position in the standings or drop even lower. In terms of yesterday, Coach, really the only game that was extremely exciting was the Vegas and Minnesota game. And that had a lot of implications because both were at the time leaders in their respective divisions. And this is a game that just went back and forth, went to overtime because a late goal tied it up for, I think it was Vegas that tied up the score. And then they won it in, I think it was the fifth or the sixth round of the shootout. But some beautiful goals, like Eric Sinek had a beautiful goal. Boldy had a nice goal. But in the end, it was the Golden Knights. Really, the goal by Smith solidified everything for them. So it looks like they put themselves in a good spot because Colorado was only a point behind and Dallas was 2 points behind. So this gives them a little bit of breathing room now. But for sorry, not for Minnesota. Minnesota only picked up a point. For Vegas, it gave them a little bit of breathing space because Edmonton and LA did not play, and tonight they play, but one of them's going to lose. So it was a key victory for Vegas, and they should. Who knows? They should win the division there. The other two games were pretty much blowouts right from the start. Dallas had no problem disposing of Nashville 5-1 in that game. I thought they completely dominated there. Robertson gets his first 100-point season for Dallas in that game. So that was a good milestone for him. Rupi Hintz, Sagan, Robertson, they all scored for Dallas. So, all around great effort by Dallas in that game, even though they were outshot. And that helps them. And then, as you mentioned, Seattle just totally all over Arizona. This wasn't a contest like, it was the closest there was 2-1 at the beginning of the second period, and then McCann went to work. I think he had did he have 3 or 2 goals? I can't remember. Yeah, 2 for sure. And he's is he going to reach 40 goals? Like, this guy now is what, at 37? Like, what a great acquisition for them. And it just goes to show that in Seattle's case, they have, I forget what the number is, but they have a certain number of players that are doing extremely well offensively in terms of the number of points and goals that they have. And it's really helping their case. Guys like Sprong and McCann and Bjorkstrand is up to, I think, 19 goals now. Even Geeky is contributing. Donato's been having a good year too. Like, they can roll up 4 lines, no problem. They don't have any real superstars, at least not yet. I think one day Matty Beniers will be. But for now, they don't have any superstars, and they continue to do well. And they still have 2 more games left against Arizona. So that should solidify for them that first wild card game or first wild card spot. So it comes down to Winnipeg. It comes down to Calgary. Calgary plays tonight. Big game for them against Chicago. I think that they have to win this game so that they go into Winnipeg tomorrow night even. And then we'll see where it goes from there. But the only thing I think now is Nashville can pretty much be put off the board in terms of making a spot.
Yeah, absolutely about that. Great resume about the 3 game. We have a couple of people knock the door. We have Christian Shaw just pop up. Welcome back. We have RJ Calabro and Joseph Lamb. All 3 guys welcome in the show. Thanks to be with us.
Welcome, guys.
Couple of comments about Leonardo, about the Seattle in Vegas last night. We have Yamo give us some information about the goaltender Ottawa. So a lot of great conversation in the chat. We appreciate that. Hey guys, we can still get first overall. Yes, Christian. If we win the lottery, we can get that one. With the start of the week, start of the day, honestly. Robinson 4 points yesterday with the other star. McCann, like you just mentioned, 2 goals yesterday. And then Torofiev for the Vegas Golden Knights, 2 goals, plus he have a goal and the shootout. So that gave Vegas to stay alive. So a very good night for Toro Eviev for the biggest goal tonight. Again, like you said, they beat the Minnesota Wild. They tied the game at the end of the game, I think, at the last minute to go 3-3.
Mhm.
And then it was excited overtime, by the way. I think I don't know if you mentioned this, it was up and
Yeah,
down
yeah,
on many ways. Goaltender had to stand up to keep the team all the way to the shootout until the fifth round, and they won by the fifth. Smith, if I can recall it. So great, Leonardo gave us all the information right there. And we have 15, 16 likes, so it's great to hear that for RJ. Give up everything. Mission up. We have 3-0, few people last night. Peter August, Pierre Martin, Chicago, Danny are 3-0. If I forgot one, I apologize. I just flipped the things about that one over there. On the
yeah.
flip side, King came out, consists of that streak of 0-4 Friday and 0-3 last night. So maybe he's going to get 11, 0-11 tonight. We don't know about that one over there. But that's happening, Mr. Nartap, on that one yesterday. Then we have a few people in just will scratch himself again tonight. So that's what we got for this on this one. Montreal Canadiens play tonight. Just a couple of news what's going on with Montreal Canadiens. Jordan
Yeah,
Harris is not played tonight. RHP and Jake Allen, all three are out of the lineup. That's the reason Corey Schoenemann is and roster for the Montreal Canadiens play with Whiteman. Primo is going to be between the pipe, and then finally, the first line for Montreal, Mr. Natap, Farrell, Alinen, and Suzuki are playing the first line. Jake Evans play on the second line tonight with Brendan Gallagher and Mike Hoffman. And then Jonathan Drouin play with on the third line for the Montreal Canadiens. Just give an idea where we at that moment, Mr. Enotap. We have a couple of people
yeah.
talk.
Amazing.
Is still Razlov still play? Razlov playing the KHL.
Radulov?
Razlov, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
in. Last time I checked, he was in the KHL.
Yeah, exactly about that one there. So that's what happened with the Montreal Canadiens. So at that time we talk about this, Mr. Tap. I did the show last night. My ad Daily News was the ad are limping, are not sprinting anymore, Mr. Tap. Unfortunately, with the number of the, at the end of the day, Mr. Natap, the Montreal want to finish strong the season, but Martin Saint Louis realize now they cannot do it because they're missing too many people and they cannot sprinting until the game number 82. Now they are limping for the best they can do. And then for people maybe not know, I have another channel. It's called Frenchy and Terrain. And I'm back now to do great some kind of video for my journey and talents. If you want to follow me, you can go there, look for Frenchy and Terrain. And I was explained there what is after 7 months my journey in Thailand. So that's what we got right there. We have a sign Radula for Christian Shaw. About the KHL, AK Bar. Here we go. He played for AK Bar, and KHL was confirmed about this one over there. If Colorado beats San Jose and the optional clinch playoff berth tonight for the Colorado Avalanche, Leonardo,
Yeah,
you're absolutely right about that
yeah.
one. I agree with you about this. Talking about the Colorado, maybe make the playoff. Mr. Top, I just want to mention to you about you know possible Ottawa did not make the playoff, Mr. Top, because they trade Gustafsson for Cam Talbot.
Right.
They let go
You're
another
right. You're right.
young goaltender, 24 years old.
That's right. And look at the success he's having. Just amazing.
Yeah. Um, I think this is one going to hurt the Ottawa Senators this season because you have a good goaltender. I think there will be a fun season for them.
Yeah, I mean, they did still have other distractions. They did have a quite a few injuries themselves. They did. They have that distraction of the whole selling of the team as well. But you're absolutely right. If they had a hot goaltender, it could have carried them a little bit further and perhaps made that wild card position.
I think
Sometimes
they
you
will be
gotta.
very close. If not, they will be in the race
Yeah,
for sure. If you think about without them, because you have to. I think with the new goalie tonight, I will give them 5 goalies if I can. I think I'm right about that
in
for
total.
sure.
Yeah, I
The
think you're
Zokov is
right.
number
Yeah,
3, then the Miller chain, whatever is number 4. And now they get that
Yeah.
young Finland goaltender tonight. Southie goaltender number 5 for them. So really interesting year for the Ottawa Senator. We know at the beginning they was trying to fight with the Detroit, the Buffalo Sabres. So three different teams are going different location, right? So I think there's something they have to figure out for next season. Next season, then they are talking about Ottawa. We heard the rumor, the fact like something like Ottawa owns something like $400 million. I don't know if you know about that rumor yesterday.
400 million. They're in debt, $400 million, which explains why this transaction hasn't happened a lot earlier.
Yeah. I think at some point he said they had to fix everything before they make that kind of transaction, and that's one of the reasons why they are now negotiate between the NHL and or you have I think 6 group or 9 group. Do you remember?
I think it's six.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's something you have to look about that for sure. For the Montreal Canadiens, on the flip side, Mr. Tap, they announced yesterday players not going to return for the rest of the season. Monahan with Savard. I talked on my video today about Monahan, or I made the question about different player Montreal. Do you think they could sign? Do you feel like they should sign or not Sean Monahan?
Well, I think we talked a little bit about it on Sunday. I mean, I like the fact that if he can stay healthy, he's got a lot to offer, and not just from a hockey player perspective, but as a leader and as a mentor for the some of the younger kids that are going to be on the team. Especially if he gives, if he offers up, a discount rate for his services, you have nothing to lose. But on the other hand, you run the risk that some of these young prospects are ready. They're ready to come up. They're ready to assume a spot on the roster. And if he's around, he's basically delaying that for somebody for an extra year, and possibly even further, because it's really about finding the right opportunity. And once you get that opportunity, you have to capitalize on it. And so if you have people that are taking up those spots that are not really part of your future, you have to really weigh that. Is it worth us keeping them just for the purposes of improving by 10, 15 points, and then still not making the playoffs, and we didn't get to see a prospect like RHP or Roy coming up, anybody of that like. So it's not an easy question, but I would say don't take the chance.
If you don't sign him, who is going to be your top 6? Because Montreal don't have the top 6 players right there.
It's hard to judge and make a comment on that right now, because I think a lot will happen this summer, and it could be anything. I mean, you could get first or second in the draft, as we mentioned, in the lottery, and that solves a big problem. You've accelerated your development stage for sure. There could be a trade made. They have a lot of prospects. They have a lot of picks. They could pull something off like they did with Doc, and bring over somebody that's a good young prospect that's maybe around 24, 25 at the most, and that could help. So it's hard to say right now.
Yeah, but if you don't have Monahan, because we have to use Mike Hoffman, Josh Anderson, top 6. That's not
I,
good enough.
I don't think Hoffman will be around personally.
So you have to use RHP or Gallagher, top 6.
Yeah, which doesn't fit. I know.
That's
I
what the
mean,
reason I said
RHP.
Monahan have to be signed if they don't do anything else.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
we'll see. I mean, he's not old, but it's just his injury, the history of his injuries that really bring to question whether to have him around. I don't know. It's not an easy choice. I'm glad I don't have to make that decision.
yeah, it will be interesting what will happen for sure for the Montreal Canadiens for the top 6. We know they have And that sort of video I make today, Mr. Tab, I talk about four different players Montreal could look for the NHL draft pick number fifth,
Yeah.
NHL, like different prospect. I'm talking about the right defenseman, two center, and a winger, where they are more like bigger players. So that's what Montreal may be looking for, add more
The
gel
size.
size, because they are really small right now. And then I think at some point we have to figure out something, because when you think about this, the average in NHL is 1 on 6 foot, 1 6'1" in NHL. This is the average players and all around the 700 forward. I'm talking about the forward, and they are 187 pounds. This is the average. If you think about this, you have Suzuki, you have Jake Evans, Gallagher,
Caulfield.
RHP,
Yeah.
and Caulfield.
Yeah.
So there are five right there. And it's not including Pitlick, by the way, at number six. So that'll give a really, and we don't go with Farrell, and what I mean. And so it's a really where the Montreal we have to figure out at some point. They cannot play like 5, 6 forward, at least 4 forward as a winger only as under 6 foot or 5'10". So it'll be really interesting to see that. Yeah, Lennon said good comments about Coach Martin Louis that he gave him very good as well tip that not everyone can give for Allen. I think he wasn't finished. Eleanor on the first line tonight. Gallagher move up to the second line. You're absolutely right about that. Chicago knocked the door. Oh, that's the one Mr. Nata did 3-0 yesterday. That's Chicago. So, Mr. Nata, we're going to give him more time tonight because we don't have no gel and no boss and look like a very
Yeah.
slow tonight. So let's move on for the warm-up show for the 11 game we have on the program. If I can do it, that'll be better. Here we go. Finally got it, Mr. ENORTAP. And we'll start with the first game of the night between the Panthers and Buffalo Sabres. This game is the most important game. One is the most game to look about this because Buffalo are still in the race.
Yes.
Mathematically, they are, right? They beat the
Yes.
Philadelphia Panthers tonight. They are right now very close to the Panthers. They beat the Panthers, beat the Buffalo. This is the end for Buffalo at the end of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that, and I think whoever wins this, and if it's in regular time, um, will pretty much knock out the other team because Florida needs to win this game just as much as Buffalo does. Probably more so because they're closer to a playoff spot. So this, to me, should be nothing short of a on ice war here in terms of both teams going all out for this. Um, the Panthers, you can expect them to come out firing on all cylinders. They are at home where they do play much better. But the ironic thing here is Buffalo actually plays better on the road, and Florida plays much better at home. So that doesn't give us much to sort of decipher between the two. It's going to be those one of those things like which goalie is going to be standing on his head. Right now, we have, I think, Levi and Leon is confirmed for Florida. And really, we haven't spoken much about Leon, but he's kind of kept Florida relevant throughout all of this. I know Bobrovsky was playing well until he got injured, but they didn't have very much. And this kid's come up, and he's really done a yeoman's job here. I personally I went with Florida. I think it's a game that will go to overtime to decide. But it could really go either way. I'm a little bit bent on who's going to win this. Oh, and I went with the score of 4-3.
Here we go. Mr. Tap set 4-3. I have an empty net, Mr. Tap 5-3. Now, at the end of the night, Mr.
5-3.
Tap, we are round, we are happy
True, true.
because
Because it'll
Philippe
help
lost,
Montreal.
right? So
Yeah.
That's the reason we took for the Florida. So we want to tell the people if we are wrong, it's not because we don't know. It's because we want Florida to lose. So that's the only thing we go that direction. If not, we would take Buffalo. We expect Buffalo win tonight, but we don't tell anybody.
Yes.
We take
No,
Florida.
no.
So it's just me and you
Okay.
talking right now. So I just want to
That's
mention
it.
that. Real Deal Prim is in the house, Mr. Otap. Welcome. And then Nick is in the house. And then we have a comment from RJ and Mr. RJ and Yamo with all the notes that we got. So thanks so much, everybody, to be a part of the show tonight. So that's the good news, Mr. Antap. We all agree on that for game number one. Game number two, guys, the Columbus versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Columbus got destroyed, sent with Montreal Canadiens 8-2, 7-0 after that. It's not getting good over there. It's not getting good. So to helping your situation, I will give you the score already. Toronto 5-2, Mr. Antap. But I could go
5-2.
7-2,
Wow.
but I would keep this lower.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you my score. I went with 6-2 Toronto. I don't think things are going to get any easier for Columbus, obviously. As a matter of fact, the confirmed starters, I never really heard of them. Jet Greaves will be
Yeah.
playing in net for Columbus against Wall for Toronto. So they're giving Samsonov a bit of rest. And I think there's a couple players that are going to be rested tonight for the Leafs as well. You know, those maintenance days that they've been doing lately. But I don't anticipate much of a contest here. I think the Leafs, especially after the last game, want to come out and play harder. You know, the last game, I think Marner was out. Giordano was out. I believe even McCabe was out of the lineup. So even if they rest a couple more tonight, I think the Leafs have enough firepower that Columbus shouldn't present much of a problem to them. So I'm going to go with the Leafs by a score of 6-2.
6-2, Mr. Tap. Just to give you an idea, Great is not in the it's not on the elite prospect. That's funny.
I know. I I mean, a great name. I like it. Jet Greaves. I like it.
Yeah, that's
But
a really interesting
hopefully he's a good
name to
goalie.
get about that one there. Um, okay, I got it now. I apologize for that. Graves, but it's Grea, not the
Yes.
Geava.
No.
Born
No.
in
GR.
Cambridge, Ontario, Mr. Tap, 6 foot goaltender, 180 pounds. Um, Signed as an undrafted, by the way. So that's what he
Uh-huh.
got. Undrafted. He played for the Cleveland the Monster Cleveland all year. Uh, yeah,
Yeah. And so we'll see. I mean, it's his opportunity to start tonight. So
there we go. So that's happening about that one. That's the reason we don't know him. He was undrafted, Mr. Tap.
there
So
you go.
he's lucky he
And
does
why
not
we
play
hadn't
with the
heard
Winnipeg Jet, or his name would be very better, Mr. Tap.
Jet
About that.
Jet.
But before we start, Mr. Tap Manor is in. Rand Basque is in the house, Mr. Rand back from Florida.
All right.
The name is Wall, but we call him the Wall. About
The
that one,
brick
Rand go
wall.
with Toronto. The brick wall, and Giordano is in for Yamo. Bringing up Miskov, father, passed away today. Yes,
Yeah.
well, yesterday.
Last night, I think. Yeah. It
Yeah,
was
well,
yesterday.
with the time, very bad news, very sad news. We don't know the situation. He was found in the river and the water. Um,
Yeah. I think you can sort of fill in the blanks there.
so it would be interesting to see more development about that. But that's not what we want to hear for anybody, right? Only
Yeah.
51 years old.
Yeah. I know. Very young.
Yeah.
Very young. Well. And next game we have what coach is doing tonight. Broadcasting is the Detroit and Montreal game. Looking, I think both teams are kind of looking to maybe finish the season off on a bit of a high note, but we haven't seen those kind of results from either team as of late. The Red Wings are in Montreal. this is an original six matchup tonight. Even though the Red Wings are still mathematically alive, in the playoff race, realistically, this team's final six games are all going to be about turning in as many quality performances as possible as they look forward to next year, and they have a lot to look forward to. They're a very young, promising team, and I think they've acquired some more assets in terms of draft picks. So we're gonna see Detroit continue to follow the Yzerman plan, and this should be I think this should be a good game. We have I believe in this one we have Husso. No, is Husso in?
Yeah.
Apparently, I thought he was confirmed. Yeah.
Yep.
So Husso against Primo.
Yep.
So definite advantage there to Detroit. The Canadians themselves are on a 3-game losing streak. As we all know, they're in last place in the Atlantic. They're holding the fifth worst record right now in the entire league. So who knows what'll come of this? But I think they'll respond. I know they don't have a lot of regulars in the lineup, but they are at home, and hopefully Primo can keep them in there, just like Montebo did with New Jersey. Was it New Jersey the other night? No, Carolina. Sorry, and at least give Montreal a fighting chance. But I think in the end, Detroit wins this. I'm going to go with a score of 4-3.
4-2 MEILLEUR. You nailed it tonight. I was good. By the way, Marco Casper is not played tonight for the Detroit Red Wings, so we know he played first game at Zone Weekend, but is out. Busty Flower knocked the door. Thank you so much, everybody, to be back. Glad to see Rand Baskin, MEILLEUR, and then Busty show up earlier tonight. So thanks so much, everybody. Don't forget, guys, to click on the like. If you don't mind, that'd be great. And confirm 5-2 and for me, MEILLEUR, on that game. And Canada and
Ottawa.
Center.
Yes, and we talked about the goaltending situation a little bit earlier. Ottawa is going with Levi Merilainen, if I pronounced that right, and Carolina will be starting Ranta tonight. So definite advantage here to Carolina. I think that I think it should be a good game. I say that because Carolina still this is an important game for them. I think that they definitely want to solidify getting first spot in the Metropolitan because they're only 1 point ahead of New Jersey. Is it just 1 point now? I think it's just 1 point ahead of New Jersey at current
Plus, they have a couple of
time.
game in hands, right?
But they have a couple games in hand, yeah, or one, I think. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to be there is relevance to this game for them. I think Ottawa too. They're not going to throw in the white towel just yet. I think that they've been playing inconsistent, but inconsistently, but they've been in most of the games. They haven't really been blown out too much by anybody. I expect a good close game here as well, but I'll take since they're at home and an unproven goaltender in Ottawa. I'm going to take Carolina by a score of 3-2.
Originally was 3-2, me too. I jumped for 5-2, MEILLEUR, and they are 3 point in front of Devils with 1 game in hands.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot they played. Yeah.
Game of the night.
Game of the night? Is it? Well, I don't know what to say about this, Coach. I think it's a game that's extremely important to both teams for totally different reasons, right?
We said that last week, MEILLEUR, when they played Detroit.
I know. Well, Pittsburgh tonight, they're going back to Jari. So he's been confirmed, and Vanacek is in net for New Jersey. So, what version of Jari's going to show up? I think that's what determines whether they win or lose this game, to be totally honest. New Jersey, they're not totally out of trying to get first place. I think that they more than likely will be looking at the Rangers first round of the playoffs. But if they can get out of second spot and win the division, it could make their path or their route a little bit easier, depending on who they play in the playoffs. They've had a fantastic year. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, I would say it's been a bit of a disappointment of a year. They've made I think they currently have the longest streak in terms of making the playoffs
Yep, 16.
consecutively, 16. So that's on the line for them too tonight. I don't think they're thinking about it from a perspective of historical books, but they're looking at it from the perspective of they invested a lot of money to keep the key core of players this year. When they kept Russ, they kept Letang, they kept Malkin, and paid the money for it because they figured, together with Crosby, they still had, and a healthy Jari, they still had a good push in them to try to do some damage in the playoffs. Unfortunately, it hasn't turned out that way, but they are still relevant, and I give them credit for that. I think a lot of it has to do with the coaching as well. But I think tonight New Jersey will bust their bubble. I'm going to take New Jersey to win this game by a score of 4-3.
New Jersey Devil, Mr. Tap, go tonight at 4-3. I took the same team, Mr. Tap, and here's my legit, Mr. Tap.
Yeah.
If Pittsburgh win, what
Yes.
make Florida Panthers look like?
Yeah.
Looking bad, right? Because now Pittsburgh's still over the Florida Panthers, right? If the Pittsburgh win tonight. So back on my first game of the night, we took Florida because if they lose, we'll be happy and we are wrong prediction. Same thing here. If Pittsburgh win, we are wrong, but we can say it because of Luciano. But we're going to say it because we want to be sure we are on the right side, Mr. Nata. So that's my conclusion about that game. I go with the makes sense to me. At the end, I'm still smiling because I was wrong, but Pittsburgh won that W. Does it make sense?
It does, but if you want to complicate things even more, this game goes into overtime and somebody picks up a point. That's not going to look good. Hopefully, it's done in regulation.
Yeah. But if everybody go both game and overtime, we're going to win both games on top.
True. I don't disagree with that.
So at the end, we'll be fine. We'll be all right. We'll be good. We'll be good.
Okay.
We'll be good.
We'll see. I'd hate to go to jail the last week of the schedule.
Yeah, 2 more weeks. Yeah, 1 more weeks after that. But the first Mr. Play tonight against the Blues, and the team we don't know.
And don't forget, I'll take a moment just to do a little sidebar that we have Super Saturday coming up this Saturday. All 32 teams are in action. We are going to count. Usually we don't count any weekend games, but this weekend, this Saturday only, we are going to count those games. I will send an email to everybody that's in our chat to remind them. Wait till Friday. Send them in on Friday or even very early Saturday morning if you like. We'll give you the email address. It's not the same one because this one will be going to Luciano, who will be receiving all our hidden ballots and predictions. And wins are worth 2 points instead of 1, and exact scores are going to be worth 3 points. I know Coach doesn't like it, but it's okay. We got to give everybody a chance to win. Okay, Coach, you can wake up now.
I'm watching the goaltender, the Vegas Golden Knight Patera. That's crazy. The number of goalies they use 5 goalies for their Patera with Bronsoy Hill. Yeah. It's just crazy. I was watching what they said about that. Sorry about that. Yeah.
And
I'm okay with that part. I just give you a hope, and I like to give hope. But at the end of the night,
of course, you're gonna win anyways. Yeah, I know.
Flyers Blues.
Flyers Blues. Well, this is another one that I don't know. I went back and forth with this. the Flyers, they skate into the Enterprise Center to take on the Blues this evening. You see their record in front of you at 29, 34, and 13. While the Blues, they come into this contest at 35, 35, and 6. The Flyers won the only head-to-head that they played earlier this season by a score of 5-1. St. Louis has dropped 2 in a row to bring their record down to 500. They've now slipped quite a bit in the standings, but we all knew what was going on here with St. Louis in terms of trying to retool for next year and years to come. The Flyers, they have managed to chase their or follow up their 4-game win streak promptly with a 3-game losing streak. They got beat by the Penguins last time by a score of 4-2. So they're going to try to climb back up to that 500 level themselves, but it's going to be a big chore ahead of them. I think, let's see, who are goaltenders here? We have Philadelphia, Samuel Ersson against Binnington. So those are both confirmed. So I think originally I thought it was Hart, and then I changed when I found out it wasn't. So I'm going to go with St. Louis to win this one by a score of 4-3.
4-3. I could tell you before that, Mr. Tap, it would be it would be more easier. I took St. Louis by 3-2, Mr. Tap. I want to mention this. Marc Journette, ref tonight, his last game in NHL. After many years in NHL, he ref over 1,300 game regular season and over 168 game during the playoff. Tonight they do something special. All French Canadian are going to be with him on the squad of the referee Charon, and then you have the long time one of the best linesmen in NHL, Johnny Murray, with can't remember Cormier, and they are going to. Then at the end of the game, I will not be surprised, guys. You see all the players, both teams are going to shake hands to Marc Journette retire. This is his last game. Yeah, no next week or whatever it is. This is over for him. So finish this in Montreal. So they are a part. Sometimes we're complaining a lot about referee. We turn out, but like Fraser or some of them made really well their career in NHL. I just want to share it with you. Another one is going to leave the NHL official tonight after many years in NHL. So I just want to mention this. 51 years old, born in Verdun and Montreal area. So just want to congratulate Marc Journette, Mr. Tap. Sorry about that, but I just want to mention.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And next we have Vegas and Nashville. Now, we know what happened last night with Nashville, so and Vegas as well. The outcome for Vegas was a little bit more positive than Nashville, of course. So they're both teams are on a back-to-back. The Predators have been, for the most part, they've been pretty good on their home ice with a record of 19, 14, and 4. However, the Golden Knights have been fantastic on the road as well. They've gone 24, 7, and 6 on the road. Not only that, but the Golden Knights are 7-1 in their last 8 road games that they've played, and I think they can get another win to keep another notch ahead of LA or possibly even Edmonton in terms of the standings and getting first. So I'm going to go with Vegas to win this one by a score of 4-3.
There you go. I was already set up with that way, Mr. Tap. Oh, I put Nashville. So I apologize for that one over there. Will be Vegas. We should give a 5 point, Mr. Tap. That I play that way. The winner of the Master of the golf tournament this weekend. If you want to do that, I'm willing to do it.
I don't know anything about golf, so.
Here we go. Nick is going to take Chicago tonight.
Do you think? He might surprise us and not take Chicago this time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways,
But I go with no. I go with Calgary tonight. It's not that 5-2.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's exactly what I took as well, 5-2. Um, what can you say? It's imperative. Calgary gets this win.
They cannot
It'll
lose
put
that
them.
game. We repeat many times
No,
the last 10 days, but
yeah,
this is the game Calgary lose because you said last week Winnipeg lose against San Jose. They should not play in the playoff. But this is almost the same thing
yeah.
for the Calgary, and they have caution. But I like the way Calgary played the last three games. They really getting the confidence, the momentum. You can see a transformation. Whatever they trail, they come back. They feel they can come back, and they did two of the three games they won top. So would be interesting. But tonight, this game,
So
this is the game
yeah,
before Wednesday night, tomorrow night.
so absolutely, and as you know, Coach will be bringing that game for us live. Um, yeah, in terms of the points, like even if Calgary wins this game, it obviously puts them at par with Winnipeg. Although Winnipeg has the tiebreaker,
Well, the
and
Winnipeg
that's
have tiebreaker. Calgary
critical.
have about 26 tie game this year.
Well, yeah, yeah, absolutely, and then that's the reason.
Yeah, 15.
But it's the way they're structured, right? These points and whatnot.
Winning percentage in
It,
the row
the
after that.
interest, yeah, the interesting thing here, though, Coach, for me was not so much the outcome of this game because I think Calgary will pull it off. My big question mark was who was going to start. Were they going to go with Markstrom or were they going to go with Vladar? Knowing that the night after tomorrow they were going to be playing that critical game against Winnipeg. So to me, it tells me a lot in terms of where Sutter's head is, and he's taking no chances here. I think he's going to put his stronger goaltender, who I think is Vladar, up against Winnipeg, and he's taking his chances tonight with Markstrom against a much easier opponent in Chicago. So we'll see if that fires, if backfires on them, or whether it was a great strategical move. As we know, the last game, even though they came from behind and won, Markstrom started that game and he got yanked after allowing 3 goals. Vladar came in and kind of solidified the position a little bit, but yeah, the 5-2 is my take on that.
Sound good to me, Mr. Tap. The Vancouver and the Seattle Kraken back-to-back game, Mr. Tap. And
Yeah, for sure.
they're looking good on the road, 24-10-4. Vancouver lost the last game, but they won pretty. They are 5-3-2 in the last 10 game, by the way.
Yeah, and I think it was a big load off of Seattle's shoulders yesterday, and part of the reason why they went as hard as they did is because they didn't want to leave it to tonight. Let's face it, Vancouver, ever since the coaching change, I'm not saying it was necessarily because of the coaches and the switch there that has made them a much better team. At least they're playing more like a team, is I guess what I'm trying to get at. They've gone 10-2 in the stretch of the last little while. Like they've been, a lot of the players are playing together now. You don't see those antics from JT Miller anymore. Other players have come around and started to contribute. Uh, I like what I'm seeing with Vancouver. The only thing here we have tonight, let's see who our goaltenders are. I have Jones against Colin Delia. Um, I would have liked to seen Demko in net, to be honest with you. But I think Vancouver at home has been playing really well. So I'm going to go with Vancouver because they're a little bit better rested. They're at home, and Seattle kind of is breathing a sigh of relief after yesterday's win. So I'm going to take Vancouver by a score of 4-3
Vancouver, I go 5-4, Mr. Tap.
for Vancouver.
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
good.
I give you no chance.
No, no chance until Saturday. And then
This is the game, Mr. Tap, of the night. The Kings versus the Oilers tonight for different reason. Battle maybe the momentum shifted
absolutely.
mindset for the playoff number one, round number one, and two teams looking great. And since the All Star break, then Edmonton is 9-0-1 the last 10 game, and whatever lost two games last week back to back, they're still doing very well, and they are back home, and they are 7-1 the last 10 games on top. Both of them are
Yeah.
differentially by only 1 point.
And what a great acquisition it was to get Ekholm from Nashville for Edmonton. Like, if I remember today, I read somewhere, I think they're 15-2-1 since the trade, which is remarkable. And if you look at their goals against in that time slot, in that time period, it's much reduced and much more manageable, especially when you have an offense like they do. Now, these two teams, this is, I believe, their fourth game. LA won the first two, and then Edmonton last time they played, which I think was last week, they won by a score of 2-0, which is an odd score to see for Edmonton. But that's a couple games in a row now that they haven't allowed a goal. Skinner has really emerged as their number one. I would be shocked if he doesn't start the playoffs. Going up against Copley, who's been having a fantastic year himself. It's going to be a tight game. These two are battling for home ice advantage. In LA's case, they have a better shot at getting first if they can win this game. If Edmonton loses this game, they could pretty much kiss first place out of their. They could take it out of their minds because they're not going to catch Vegas after that, especially if Vegas manages to win again tonight. So I'm going to go with the hot team, and that's the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 4-3, but it might be in overtime.
Mr. Tap surprised me, but this was my original score, Mr. Tap.
And you're going to stick with it?
I stick with
4-3.
Yep.
You thought I was going to go LA?
I thought you were going to go LA, yeah.
I'll leave that for Yarmo.
Yeah.
Yarmo's not going to split the difference here. He's going to go LA, maybe.
Marco Larabie is the house, Mr. Tap.
Hey, Marco, welcome. And our last game of the night, the Avalanche, they're traveling to San Jose to take on the Sharks for the second time this season. And, Colorado dismantled San Jose in their first meeting. I believe it was a 6-0 game. I don't think they broke much of a sweat that game either. The Sharks, they've won 3 games in a row. Of the teams that are at the bottom of the league, it kills me because they're the only team that, if you look at their last 10 games, that have a record that's almost a winning record or close to 500, and they've won 3 in a row and it's raised them in the standings a little bit. So I don't know. I guess they want to finish on a good note altogether, but we'll see. I don't think this is the game that they're going to make any kind of statement. I like Colorado. They've been really hot as of late. They're slowly making. I mean, their ambition is to get that first spot in the Central, and they stand a good chance of doing it because they have, I think, is it 1 game in hand on Minnesota, or is it 2 now? Maybe after tonight it'll be 1, and they're only a point behind them. So this could be a good game for Colorado and some of their stars to really amass some of their points. So I'm going to go with Colorado to win this one by a score of 5-2.
5-2, Mr. Tap. I go with
Georgiev
6-1,
against
Mr. Tap.
Kakinen. 6-1 Colorado. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm going to ask a quiz for you. First of all, we welcome back Marco Larabie, Wally Snyder, and Gary Cournoyer, all 3 back in the house, Mr. Tap.
Welcome, guys.
So that's happening about that. Mr. Tap, Montreal Canadiens at the beginning of the October 12th, they have 20 players on the roster, right? They start the game. They start the
Okay.
season. 20 players on the roster.
Yes.
How many of them they are still played tonight? Or not they play
Oh,
tonight, but how many of them are not with the team anymore? Or they are not on the roster right now
they're
with
injured.
injuries
Yeah,
or trade?
oh, out of the 20, I would say I'm going to go with 14.
14. You're closer. It's a 12.
12. Wow. Okay.
12 of them, including Tabernack.
I'd
That's
rather not
crazy,
think about that.
right? That's crazy if you think about that one
It
over
is.
there.
It is. The turnover is phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely about that.
Yeah.
People thinking the King going to win tonight, Mr. Top, from Ron and Luciano because they are 14-6 or something like that. They are 14-6-0 the last 20 game, and LA for the King against Edmonton Oilers, Mr. Top.
Run Edmonton's his worst enemy. I tell you,
That's the only
Edmonton
thing
will
I'm a little
take
bit
care of them.
concerned because Edmonton is hot right now, Mr. Top.
Yes, they are. They're very hot, and they're playing good hockey on top of everything.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
and
sorry
and
about that.
really,
The time we tell
when you
us
look
we
at
are
it,
right or wrong.
when you're looking at Edmonton, you know, I mean, the hype is always about McDavid, but I would say in the last couple weeks, Draisaitl has really carried that team.
Yeah, Johansson could be the goaltender tonight. So,
Yeah.
anyhow, Mr. Top, what are you looking for tonight?
Oof, lots of games. Too many to name, Coach. I think we hit upon them along the way. Obviously the LA and Edmonton game, the Pittsburgh game, Carolina to a lesser degree. All going to be. I think out of the 11 games, 8 of them are going to have direct impact on the standings.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just answered Marco. Kovacevic is game number 73, I believe, tonight, but the record is still Piqué Subban with 77 games at Mr. Tap. They have I think you have like 9 defensemen, rookie. Montreal play over 70 games and NHL at the first year. So Marco, check. Is Piqué Subban lead with 77. There we go. And Dave Thompson back in the lineup tonight for the Buffalo Sabres, Mr. Tap. Here we go. Well, that's all. I don't think this is going to be a great hockey night. Again, 11 game on the program. We're going to be all over the map tonight, watching many games at the same time. But one thing we know, because he is, you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you. You have greatness inside of you, Mr. Tap. By the way, if you don't follow, but the Major League Baseball start last week. Look like, I don't know. So it's what I heard today. And so if you are baseball fans, hopefully you enjoy the baseball team. But before we leave, Mr. Tap, we want to remind everybody, don't forget the next couple of minutes will be live for the play-by-play game Montreal Canadiens, of course. And we want to let you know, Mr. Tap, be well, be healthy, find a way not only dominate your day, but find a way to dominate the first half of what, Mr. Tap?
What else? You're 20, 23.
You did it again. An amazing, great night, everybody. See you a little bit later, Mr. Tap. Great job. We'll see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. For another warm-up show.